If you've ever been woken up at sunrise by a loud, unmistakable cock-a-doodle-doo, you've probably wondered, why do roosters crow in the morning? Is it really their job to wake up the sun, or is there something deeper going on? For centuries, people have linked roosters with dawn, treating them almost like natural alarm clocks. But the truth is far more interesting and surprisingly scientific. So today we'll uncover on why do roosters crow? What's actually behind that iconic sound? Roosters don't just crow because the sun comes up. In fact, they'd still do it even if the sun didn't. Let's break it down right here on History of Simple Things. One of the most common beliefs is that roosters crow because they see the sunrise. It sounds logical. They notice the light and they react to it. Simple, right? Not exactly. While light does play a role, roosters aren't just reacting to the sunrise like a switch being flipped. If that were the case, they'd only crow when it gets bright. But that's not what happens in reality. Farmers and researchers have observed that roosters often start crowing before the sun even appears. Sometimes they'll crow in complete darkness. That already tells us there's something else going on. Something internal. The real reason roosters crow in the morning comes down to something called a circadian rhythm. This is the internal biological clock that tells living things when to sleep, wake up, eat, and be active. Humans have it too. It's why you feel sleepy at night and alert in the morning. Roosters are incredibly tuned into this internal clock. Their bodies are programmed to anticipate the sunrise, not just respond to it. That means they know morning is coming before it actually arrives. So when a rooster crows at dawn, it's not reacting, it's predicting. Scientists have even tested this by placing roosters in controlled environments with no natural light. And guess what? They still crowed at roughly the same time every day. That's solid proof that their crowing is driven from within. Now that we know roosters aren't just reacting to sunlight, the next question is, why dawn specifically? Morning is a critical time in the natural world. It's when animals become active, search for food, and establish their presence. For a rooster, crowing at dawn is like making an announcement. I'm here, this is my territory. It's a way of marking the start of the day and reminding other animals, especially rival roosters, that this area is already claimed. Think of it less like a wake-up call and more like a daily broadcast. Roosters are highly territorial animals. Their crow isn't random noise. It's a signal. When a rooster crows, it's essentially saying, "This is my space. Stay away." Other roosters nearby hear this and may respond with their own crowing. This creates a sort of call and response pattern where multiple roosters establish boundaries without needing to physically fight. It's actually a clever system. Instead of constant conflict, they use sound to settle things from a distance. And timing matters. Crowing at dawn ensures their message is heard clearly before the noise of the day takes over. Here's something many people don't realize. Roosters don't only crow in the morning. They crow throughout the day. For different reasons, they might crow to assert dominance, to respond to other roosters, when they're startled, and or even when they sense changes in their environment. The reason we associate crowing with morning is because that's when it's most consistent and noticeable. It's like their daily main announcement, but it's not their only one. Even though roosters rely on their internal clock, light still influences their behavior. Artificial light, for example, can confuse a rooster's sense of time. If a rooster is exposed to constant light, it might crow at unusual hours. That's because its body clock gets disrupted. In natural settings, however, the gradual change from darkness to light helps reinforce their rhythm. It fine-tunes their timing, making their crowing more precise. So while light isn't the main cause, it acts like a guide, keeping everything aligned. Another interesting question: why don't hens crow the same way? The answer comes down to biology and behavior. Roosters are the dominant figures in a flock. Their role includes protecting the group, maintaining order, and establishing territory. Their loud crow is part of that responsibility. Hens, on the other hand, communicate differently. They make softer, more varied sounds for things like laying eggs, calling chicks, or signaling food. In rare cases, hens can crow, but it's uncommon and usually linked to hormonal changes. That iconic cock-a-doodle-doo isn't just loud, it's designed to travel. Roosters have a specialized vocal system that allows them to produce powerful, far-reaching calls. Their crow can carry over long distances, which is perfect for territorial signaling. What's even more fascinating is that roosters often stretch their necks and close their eyes while crowing. This helps them project the sound more effectively. It's not just noise, it's a carefully evolved communication tool. Not all roosters are equally vocal. Some crow more frequently than others, and there are a few reasons why. Dominance plays a big role. The top rooster in a group usually crows first and most often. Lower-ranking roosters may crow less, especially if they're trying to avoid confrontation. Personality matters too. Just like people, some roosters are naturally more talkative. And then there's environment. A rooster in a quiet rural area might crow differently compared to one surrounded by noise or other animals. So why do roosters crow in the morning? It's not because they're reacting to the sunrise. It's because they're driven by an internal biological clock that tells them morning is coming. Their crow is a mix of instinct, communication, and survival behavior. What seems like a simple farmyard sound is actually a complex, finely tuned behavior shaped by evolution. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution.
Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.